Okay, everybody, welcome to our Team Empower call. We are so glad that you are here. It's so fun to see so many faces. This is awesome. Summer calls are like the best because you guys are here. Erin's showing me her drink. Okay, so what we decided to do our call on tonight is, what do you do when you don't know what to post? I mean, we've all been stuck in that rut where it's like, okay, I cannot post another picture of my face or a picture of me holding Shakeology or talk about my workout anymore because I need to add value. So what do I post? And so we wanted to go through some different tips to help you think of and figure out what to post in an effort to add value, because that's really where it comes down to where you're going to get your comments, likes, shares, and then ultimately the people that join your groups and start coaching, is because you've added value to their life and they trust you. So what we want you to do is get out a pen and paper or your computer, whatever it is that you do your work on, and we're going to do another type of power half hour, kind of like we did a few weeks ago, but with a different focus. And the focus is crafting posts and coming up with topics. So grab your pen and paper.
So while you're doing that, can I just say something really quick?
Yes.
Please? So I don't know if you guys saw the thing, like the link that I posted, what Shalene and Janelle were saying, like, I don't know what to post when it's time for me to post or whatever, what to post on Facebook. And I loved at the beginning of this, they give 10 tips or like 10 different things that you can post about. And in the beginning, she said, at the recent Platinum Edge conference, Shalene jokingly talked about the coaches posting too much or too many post-workout sweaty selfies, their calorie burned on their Fitbits, and pictures of them kissing a Shakeology bag. But that's because it's tough to know what to post. Here's a list of things that work. And when I read that, I'm like, that is so true. I see that all the time. I mean, and not that those things are bad, but it's just too much. It's just, if that's all you're doing, then it can be too much. So you want to make sure that you are adding value. So the top 10 things that we're going to go through with you will be things that are not sweaty selfies or kissing your Shakeology bag. Ah! Are you guys okay? Totally dropped you. Oh gosh, that was funny, right?
Okay, so now that you have your pen and paper, the first tip is to share a tool or a resource that has helped you. So an app, a new finding, a book that you love, whatever it may be. There's been a few that I've shared. I've shared about the Slight Edge and why I like it and what I've learned from it. I've shared about different apps that I like for editing my pictures, different things like that. So we're going to take just like 3 minutes. I want you just to make a list of tools or resources that have helped you, whether it's helped you in your business, helped you in your family, helped you being a mom, helped you with your job, any area of your life. Go ahead and jot down those resources or tools that have helped you.
And it could even be simple, like a particular kind of like Ziploc bag, or one that doesn't break open, or a curling iron or a hair product that you found that finally works, or because you know that you're always looking for that stuff too. So it's nice to get a word of mouth recommendation on random things like that.
Okay, time starts now. Okay. Time's up. Erin, do you want to share with us your list of things that you wrote down?
Sure. I put down can you guys hear me? I put down a blog that it's like kind of like a Bible study thing. It's a blogger that has encouraging stuff, and you can follow along with her. I put, and Stacy knows this, my onion goggles that I use when I chop onions, and they're super nerdy, awesome things I put on. I wrote down a few apps. I used to do my Fitness Pal. I don't know if that's a good one to share or not, though, because it's counting calories, which we don't really do anymore. So, but we used to use that and like that. My Pinterest boards, and I think that's interesting if we should mention just Pinterest in general. I almost wanted to gear them more towards my boards that I've created. There was another link to this, like, I don't know what it's called. It's like Netflix for Christians for my kids that I put on when I need them to watch something. My veggie spiralizer, Clean Eating magazine, this tea travel mug thing that I just used for 3-day refresh like crazy. My awesome scanner that I use all the time for everything. And I just bought a new planner, and it has built-in goals for each month where you write it right in there, which is pretty cool. That's how far I got.
That's awesome. I love that. I think that we have so many little things to share, and it's always amazing to me that the posts that go, I don't want to say viral because they don't really go viral, but that really get a lot of likes and shares and comments. I know when Kelly posted about her, was it your fridge or your dishwasher? It was one of the two.
My refrigerator.
Your fridge, okay. And those are the things that people are like, oh, I want to know. And I, like, one time I posted about a little mint. Like, I like the little just like Starlight mint. And I will suck on those like when I'm baking so I don't eat all the cookie dough. And I posted about that, and people were like blown away. Like, this is amazing. So even though it might not seem like that big of a deal to you, it is something that people want to know about, because it's just those little tips and tricks, those little things that you use to make your life easier. And that will drive traffic to your page and also help people see that you're real and that you use everyday things and why you love them, and it will just increase that trust. So keep adding to your list, and then when you go down and you don't know what to post about, pull out this list and post about one of those things on your list. It's your scanner, your cup, your mint, whatever it is, and how it is that you use it and how it makes your life easier.
So one thing with that too, it might be helpful if you just have some dedicated time just to like, okay, I have 15 minutes. I'm going to take pictures, like take pictures of these, of these. Like, for example, I had one thing is I freeze my spinach, or that water, if you mix water and honey together and soak your apples in them for like 30 seconds, it keeps them from going browning, but it's not lemon juice, so they don't taste tart or whatever. So all of these little things I forget to take pictures of, like when I'm doing it or I'm in a rush. So it might be nice if you just say, okay, I'm going to take 15 minutes to like get all this together, snap pictures, and so that I can then have them in my arsenal of when it's time to post, if that makes sense.
I like that. Okay, the second one is to entertain. Upload a video from your phone. Don't post a link. It has to be directly uploaded to Facebook for it to make it into people's news feeds. So either upload a video or share a funny story. Allie and I like to record just snippets of our workouts and post them. We found that if our kids are in them, it does well on our page. If our kids aren't in them, people usually don't care about us. But your pages will probably be different. Like, they have, just kind of depends on the audience that you pull from. I know when I posted the video of when I tripped on my bench and fell on my face, people like totally responded to that one. So any type of video, Facebook loves video because they're wanting to compete with the other social media platforms, and not all of the social media platforms can do video. So they like you to upload your video directly to them, not like a link from YouTube or anything like that. So Take the next 2 to 3 minutes to write down videos that you can upload and share, or things that you can record.
It's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
I think also in this category, because this category just says entertainment, that any sort of entertainment, like if you come across a funny meme, you know, those always do really well on our page, funny memes, but we usually will redo them ourselves. So if you just open Rona Designs or whatever app you're comfortable with, and you guys, seriously, on mine, I try to be really consistent with mine. I just have a white background and then black or gray text, and then just a little thing on the bottom that says Strong Fit Mamas. And those usually do really well, just funny little phrases, since we're talking about entertainment. Do you guys think of anything? I cannot think of anything to write down for this category. What are you writing, Lacey?
I wrote down meal prep ideas, so like the way I cut my peppers, how I wash and store my fruit for my kids to grab bags. I've been thinking about doing this forever and I've yet to do it, but record how I grocery shop, like what I look for at Costco or at the grocery store, that kind of thing.
So how is that like entertainment? Or are you just still doing tools and resources that help you?
I'm just thinking like of different things to like record, just video.
Oh, just video. You're focusing on video. Got it. Or you guys, people don't know how to meal prep either. Like we get that a lot in our messages with people on our page. They're so overwhelmed about meal prepping. So that might be a good idea for a small video.
Okay, time's up. I'm going to ask Stacy because she's like the queen of video. Tell us, any thoughts on videos?
So some of mine are videos, but some aren't. I was kind of following Allie's idea on not all video, but I've had an idea of maybe doing like, and sounds cheesy and it'd probably go really bad. I might need to test it, but I'd love to do like a live video of me running on campus. Maybe not even live, just a video, even if it's like stuck to my arm, because it's a really beautiful run. And I think that it would be cool for people to see like what I get to see when I'm on campus.
That's a good idea.
I put memes down too because they're fun. I'm always careful about they have to be pretty neutral because I don't want to step on anybody's toes or make them mad, but there's been some good ones. My kids, whenever they're playing with each other or dancing or laughing or doing something funny, those are good moments to capture. I've got a really good one I'm waiting to post from last weekend of Preston dancing to some good music. Funny campfire experiences. Even though I posted it really late last weekend, there was a funny glow person video I posted and people loved it. Just random jokes. I put meal prep tips down and then tips to sneak vegetables in for kids' food. Those are what I put down.
Like that.
So I want to say something really quick. I know that some of you might be thinking, why? Like, what does this have to do with my business? You know, especially maybe our newer coaches who are going to listen to this. You know, what do these things have to do with Beachbody or my business? But right now, you are not selling a Beachbody product. You are selling you. Okay, you need people to know you and trust you on social media if you want them to come to you for help. And all of these things, there are certain, if you think about your newsfeed, there are certain people when they pop in your newsfeed that you will actually stop to see what they have to say. At least I know for me. Some people I'll just scroll right past because I'm like, I don't care what they have to say. Like nothing they have done has struck me enough times to make me want to hear what they say. But there are a few people in my news feed that I always stop for because I always like to know what they have to say. And you want to be that person. So when we talk about adding value, it's not just adding value with some big, like some super big experience that you got through and that you want to share, which are good. Those are good too. But you want to add value in all of these different, we talked about the 5 different topics. Okay. You want to add value amongst all of those topics because you want people to say, oh, you know what? I really like what Kelly always says. So I want to stop and see, what is she saying now? So even though we're not talking about Beachbody specifically, thank goodness. Okay. Because please do not post only Beachbody. You want to be the person that people stop for when they're scrolling. So anyways, that was a tangent. Go ahead.
No, I like that. The next one is a pedestal. To highlight, welcome, or honor someone. Something we're going to start doing on our page is a Transformation Tuesday. We're starting to collect, before and afters of people in our graduate group, which, like, stupid, we should have already done this. But to be able to give, like, a shout out to them specifically and show people their results and share their personal experience. So that's something we're going to do on our page, is to highlight our challengers and their transformations. But anything can be done on your pages with highlighting, welcoming, or honoring somebody. What do you think about that, Al?
I mean, it could be your husband. I know when I give shout outs to my husband, those get a good response. And to my mom, it doesn't have to do anything with Beachbody, but I mean, it can be. I think anything positive, like for example, when I'm giving a shout out to my husband, or if somebody else does that, I always stop and read because I love to see spouses who love each other. So when I'm seeing, oh my gosh, like they have a really good marriage, or what it seems like that they do, because they're praising one another. So I always want to stop and listen to that. Or if I know, I'm all about relationships, I love relationships. So if I see someone giving a shout out to a parent or a coworker or something like that, I always want to stop and read that for some reason. But that's just me. Everybody's drawn to different things. So yeah, basically mostly family members is what would draw me.
Okay, so just take 1 minute. We're just going to do this one really quick. And write down people that you can think of that you can shout out on your page.
Holidays are always really good too. Like 4th of July is coming up. You could, honor someone 4th of July. Obviously, we just have Memorial Day. Yeah. I know one of my friends does, like before Thanksgiving, she'll do like 100 days of gratitude or something. So 100 days before Thanksgiving. And every day I stop and read every day what she has to say, because they're always little things, like her lip gloss or something like that. And I know it really, when I know someone's doing something consistently, like Thankful Thursday or something like that, I'm always looking to see, okay, what are they going to say on this Thursday about this specific thing? I love like Advent type of things. So that, I don't know if that has to do with honoring anybody, but.
Well, that covers tip number 10, gratitude posts. So we'll revisit that one.
Perfect. Okay, should we go on?
Yep. Okay, the next one is a question or a poll of your audience. We've talked about this before, but we usually will, I would say probably 90% of the time, either begin or end our post with a question, because it allows people to give their feedback, their insight, and also to interact on your post. So a question or a poll of your audience can be all about that particular post. I mean, we've done ones where we talked about, like, I shared a bowl of cottage cheese that had cucumbers and tomatoes in it and talked about why I loved it. It was so good. And then said, are you a cottage cheese lover? And people, for some reason, love to answer that question. Let me know their feelings about cottage cheese. And so there's people they want to answer questions and they want to answer polls. So take 2 minutes and write down some different questions that you could ask your audience.
So for mine, just see if you need more ideas, I wrote down, so for a question or a poll, what are some consequences for like kid appropriate consequences? Like, and then you can name the ages of your kids. Date night ideas with your spouse. Which shoes should I wear, or which shoes should I get? Because I'm looking for new workout shoes. I've seen which outfit do you like better, or which shirt do you like better for a particular event. People love to give their opinions on that. What are your summer routines with your kids? I have a lot of kid things. What chores do you give your children, and when do you start chores? Those sort of things. Moms love to give their opinions on those. What dessert could you never stop eating or like get rid of? What are your go-to meals? Everybody has your go-to meals. Like ours are spaghetti. Lacey, yours are tacos, right? You guys have tacos a lot.
Yep.
We have spaghetti a lot.
Erin said tiramisu.
I've never had tiramisu. I know, sad.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm going to ask Michelle. Michelle, what did you write down for your questions?
Well, first of all, I'm always afraid to ask a question because I feel like no one will answer. So I haven't asked a question yet. Some of the things I wrote down were favorite sneakers, because I have a favorite, Allie. If you like to run versus walk, beach versus pool, that's big where I am. Plain versus flavored water, summer bedtimes, anything really for the kids. Favorite Beachbody program, hair products, breakfast food, favorite flavor Shakeology, and chores I wrote.
I like that.
For the kids.
That's the nice thing about social media is if you ask the question and you don't hear any answers, which it totally happens, you can just delete it and then like repost it later. Like we've totally done that before. Not a problem. I like that. Okay, so the next one is, let's see, must have an upswing. So when you're opening up about your struggles, invite a positive or include a positive. So what you're doing about it now and how you plan on overcoming it. So we all have our struggles. We all have things that are hard. It doesn't mean we need to go and like share our like heartbreak moments all the time, but sharing those little bits and pieces that make you real is something that really draws people in. I know that when we share about our dad and him passing away, we have, a lot of interaction, and that's really defined us and kind of made us who we are. And so we have a lot that we can share about that. I know when I've shared about my struggle with anxiety and depression, like people really flock to that and have opinions and thoughts and comment a lot on that. So anything that you can do to share to open up, but also have to remember that you're not going into this sharing that you're a victim. We need to share that we're victors, and that we have made it through hard things and we've done difficult things. And so go ahead and take a few minutes and write down what you can share about things that have been difficult.
And they can be like, Stacy, I loved your post about that you stopped nursing, and that how, you know, you had mixed emotions about stopping nursing, and that so many people can relate to that. So you don't have to think of we posted about our dad and going through my dad's death, and that's a big experience, but also just everyday hard things, you know, dropping your kid off at the bus, or, you know, little things like that where you might have mixed emotions, or that you have many struggles with. Those actually relate to more people. So.
Yeah. Or even things that you don't even have mixed emotions about, but that you absolutely hate, like laundry. I hate laundry. I hate folding laundry. And I could get on there and talk all about I hate this, it sucks. But instead, just tweaking it just a bit and saying, okay, I don't like folding laundry. We're not friends. But the fact that I have laundry to fold is such a blessing. And it shows that my husband is working and that my kids are playing and getting their clothes dirty, and I'm okay with that. And so anything that you can find that, whether you have mixed emotions or you just hate it all together, finding a way to put a positive spin on it will allow you to come up with some great posts.
Oh, an example too of this is I just recently posted about yelling. I feel like I raise my voice now more towards my kids now that I have 3, and now that they're getting older, and I could go on and on, but I won't. And how that's something that I am working on. So rather than just saying I'm frustrated, and letting people know that I'm struggling with this, because I know a lot of people struggle with that, and that I'm working on it, and this is how I'm working on it. So giving people, if you're posting about something that you're pretty sure other moms or other people struggle with too, then giving them a solution also helps. So again, not coming across as a victim, but then also you have the opportunity to help others get through something that maybe you're currently struggling with. I wish we were all sitting in the same room together, talking about this.
I know. It would be fun. Okay, your time is up. Kendra, I'm going to ask you, what are some thoughts that you came up with?
Okay, so mine is that I'm not a morning person. I still struggle with that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The daily struggle with nutrition, which I post about that. Taking 4 kids to the store, and getting kids to do chores during the summer without a fight. Lunchtime in general, I feel like it breaks up my day, and so tips on how or what we have been doing to try to make lunchtime more successful with all the kids home and not have the kitchen look like a tornado hit. The dog in general, just the dog. Kids, that first time taking them to preschool, and then that my husband has an hour commute, and that a Bluetooth is a life changer when you're trying to make dinner and talk to him. So that's what I had.
Good.
I love that. Love it. Okay, our next one is posts that save people time or money. I think that this is a good one, especially for the kind of the world that we're in, as far as meal prepping, meal planning, that kind of stuff that saves people tons of money. People don't know really how to do it. But there's also lots of other things that you can share that will help people, save people time and money.
And then let me know, because I don't have any ideas for this.
Okay. Time's up. I'm gonna go back to Erin. Do you have any tips?
Crap. Sorry, this name. Car. I did not write down a whole bunch, but I wrote basically meal prep, because that's like so much of what that is, and a separate one which I'm not great at. I get good sometimes, is planning the meals so that you don't waste much. So like, I have to buy this for this meal, making sure you know how much you're going to buy, that you use it all up. Picking out clothes the night before, that's like big in my house for the kids. I'm in the car, like I'm in the van all the time in the morning right now, so using that time really well with like Audible and listening to books on tape, getting stuff done, or using, like I talk into my phone to do the notes, mostly for Beachbody. All of this is for so I can use that time in the car wisely. And that's all I got written down. My in-laws were FaceTiming my husband downstairs, and it was
That's awesome. I like that. Those are really great ideas. Especially picking out the clothes the night before. Genius. Okay. Answering facts. So listen to what people are always asking you. You always have people sending you the same questions over and over and over. And maybe even they were questions that you had beforehand. So listening to those and then crafting a post answering those questions so that people have answers to their questions right in front of them. So questions that we're frequently asked is about what brands of stuff that we use, brands of food, workouts that we like. We are often asked about if we have any type of like Fitbit or anything like that, how we meal plan. Those different kind of things are questions that we're often asked and are able to write posts around. So, questions that people often ask you.
I get asked a lot, just for further ideas too. Several times, how do you fit in your spiritual life with your fitness? Like, how do you balance all of that? Because I get a lot of people saying, okay, when I want to focus on my fitness, then my scripture study starts to taper off. Or if I want to focus on my scripture study, then my fitness tapers off. So how do you balance both?
And I think this gives you also an opportunity to tell people a little bit more about coaching, as you can share with them kind of what coaching looks like in your life and answer those questions that people frequently have about coaching. Granted, the post isn't going to apply to everybody, but it will resonate with some people. Like today I just did a post about doing work at the park and how that's my office. Like that's my corner office with a view, is with my notebook and my water bottle and my pen as I am there watching my kids play. And that I can work from wherever I am. And so answering those questions that you had about coaching as well in a post is something that will pique interest in people as well.
How to stay healthy over the holidays. 4th of July coming up, you could have a few posts wrapped around that. Or Thanksgiving too, we get that question a lot.
Or road trips.
Road trips, yeah. Yeah, how to eat healthy while traveling, or tips. And again, just put this into your life. Maybe you don't travel a lot, but I mean, you're in the car, maybe taking kids to practice in school, and you know, that can also apply to a lot of people.
I have a question or a comment on this. Like, what I have so many people in my messaging and reconnecting, they always seem to end it with, and they're being super sweet. Like, everyone's really, really nice, and we love connecting. They're just always like, Erin, I don't know how you are just like so happy and positive and keep it all together. And I'm sometimes like, what? Like, you must not be reading all my posts. Like, I feel like I'm falling apart most of the time. And I think just because I'm maybe in the messaging them and saying like, I can help you, or how are you, and just being, sorry, I'm like having hot flashes these days. Like, I always end up telling them like, no, wait, I'm not, you know, they see perfection, and I'm mad because I don't want them to see that in me, and I don't want them to think I'm perfect. So I feel like I'm always answering the question of, no, I feel like a hot mess like you too. And I always tell them I'm doing that. I don't know. That's the question that I'm going to answer the most often. It's just like, no, this is not super easy. It's super hard for me to get my workout in every day.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a good idea for a post. No, I'm a hot mess too.
I'm a hot mess all the time too.
I'm a hot mess too. Like you.
Okay, we're kind of running short on time, so I'm going to group some of these together. So number 8 is motivational. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. We talk a lot about that. We talk a lot about that in our challenge groups, posting things that are motivational. So we're not going to take time to make a list on the motivational, because that's kind of something that is pretty standard. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just a tip on that. I think everyone's really good at doing motivational posts. My tip on that would be not just to put something on there that you find in Google or Pinterest, but to make it your own, like whether you put a quote like on a selfie, or you just do it yourself in Rona Designs or whatever, just making it your own. That's what I would say. Because when people come to your page, I want you guys go to your page and just look at your first 5 posts and ask yourself, is it a proper reflection of me? Or people know who I am, especially if you're going on your like page where people have no idea who you are. They kind of need to see your face. And I know you're probably sick of posting selfies, but especially if you're working off a like page, people need to know who you are and what you look like. They want to be able to, like, you know, if you don't see someone physically, you're not connected to them at all. And so I know it feels like you're putting your face out there a lot if you're working off a like page, but people need to see you. So putting quotes on your selfies or workout picture or something like that, rather than just doing motivational posts that you're just copying and pasting from Pinterest. Okay, that's all.
And your text will be really helpful too. Try to not, at least I try to like put up an image with a motivational quote on it, but then in the text have some sort of like personal experience or something that people can relate to. So it's not just another pretty picture that people scroll by, but it's something that is real about life. Like the other day I posted about my little girl taking a time out and feeling all frustrated and sad about her, you know, emotions and sneaking out of the house and that kind of stuff. And so it was connected to the image, but it was a personal experience that people could relate to. So that's super motivating for people as well. It's just to see that you're real. Number 9 is a how-to or a system. We haven't shared a lot of those on our page. So the only thing that I can think of as far as a how-to or a system is just when I posted in our group about how I stay organized in Team Empower. But that could easily be translated to your page as well, about how you stay organized, how you run your summers, how you do your chore lists, how you structure your workouts, how you meal plan, how you meal prep, any how-to, really anything that you find on Pinterest people are going to want to know. And so how you do it in your life, and how you make things easier. Any type of system that you have. Al, you look like you have something to say.
No, I actually didn't. I was just trying to think of any how-to things. Like how to hang a gallery wall. That's one I did recently when we were putting pictures up, or how to, anything like Lacey said, that you're, maybe any DIY thing you're doing from Pinterest that I never think about taking pictures of. So I'm making a mental note right now. I'm going to make mercury glass out of some vases I bought from the dollar store. Like I need to, that's a good idea for a post. So anything that you find on that you're doing yourself.
And it doesn't have to be fitness related. It can be anything. Anything that you do, you can share it.
Because again, you're adding value. You're helping people to know, oh, I always wanted to know how to hang pictures evenly, because that's the first thing I notice on a gallery wall is when the pictures are like a half an inch apart. Like me, that's what I would think. So anyway, that's all.
So take a minute real quick to write down a couple how-tos.
Or maybe you're really good at designing, I don't know, with furniture or interior, like Shannon. She's really good at interior design or helping people with that. Anything that you're naturally talented at.
Okay, the next one, number 10, is a gratitude post. Allie touched on that already. Anything that you're grateful for. And I think, too, sharing your story with that gratitude, I think, you know, any bit of your story can be shared in any of these posts. Your story doesn't have to be big, huge, life-changing, earth-shattering type of a thing. It can be the little things. I know I was talking to Michelle yesterday, and she was talking about her triathlons, and she said, you know, I used to be that girl that wouldn't even put my face in the water, and to her, like, it's like, yeah, whatever, like, now I do, now I run these triathlons and I swim and it's not a big deal. But so many people can relate to that. And so anything, just like a picture of your goggles and saying, I'm so grateful that I now will put my face in the water because I used to be that girl that wouldn't do it, and talk about your experience and your story with that. And because people will get that, you know, or I'm so thankful that my kid finally found a book that he likes to read because it was pulling teeth to get him to read before, you know, because people will relate to that. So any type of thing that you're grateful for connected to how it makes you feel, people will relate to that and be inspired by it. And then we're going to just keep on going. The next one is This Is Who I Am post. And just like Erin was saying, you want people to see who you are. It's okay to show them that you're a hot mess too, because we all are a hot mess. And we know it's not about perfection. It's about the progress. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're sharing right here is the progress in the journey. And so showing people who you really are. I mean, I've shown pictures of my piles of laundry because, you know, I don't like folding laundry. I've shown pictures of my kids throwing tantrums because that's what happens in my world. You know, I've created posts about, I don't even know, just like the things that make me. And that's what people want to see from you, is they want to see who you are. What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? What makes you laugh? What makes you sad? What makes you happy? Who are you? Because that's what people want to know, is who you are.
And like the little things, like one of my favorite things in the entire world is climbing into my bed with clean sheets that just smell like fabric softener. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but I just like shove my face in my pillow. You know, little things like that make you happy, that will also remind other people, hey, that's a little thing that makes me happy too. Like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a little thing.
So take 1 minute to write down 3 things that make you you.
What's happened?
Okay, time's up. And the last one is, she said, one of every 10 posts should be an invitation to your challenge group or to the coaching opportunity. That is something that Allie and I totally missed the ball on, or missed the boat. It was so dumb. We kept posting and posting and posting when we felt like, hey, we're adding value. We're not plastering Beachbody all over. But then people didn't even realize what we were doing. They didn't realize that we ran groups. They didn't realize that we were coaches. They didn't know that they could join us. We just became a page of tips. And so making sure that one of every 10 of your posts is inviting to something, a challenge group, a clean eating group, the coaching opportunity, whatever it may be, so that people know what you're doing. They know how these things have changed your life. We like to now talk about how challenge groups have changed us and how they help keep us accountable. And, like I was talking about before with coaching, how I can take it anywhere. Different things like that, working it into a post that also includes a gratitude, or this is a me, or combining a couple of these different tips, but then also throwing in there, the idea of challenge groups, or the idea of coaching, or the idea of a clean eating group, so that people know what you're doing. And so you're not just a tip page. That they realize that you also are a business, because that's important too. That's why you're doing this, is also as part of your business. So make sure that that's included in your posts, not just once a month, but 1 out of every 10 posts. So it should be, every couple days. So.
But like she said, it doesn't have to be an official join my challenge group post. It can just be at the end, a shout out to your challenge group, the accountability that your challenge group gave you today, or just so people are exposed to the fact that you're running groups. That makes sense.
Yes. Totally. So now you're armed with a list of things that you can post about, things that will make a difference, things that speak to you, and so that you can also share it with other people. So something that I have started doing, and it has made a world of difference, it's been a total game changer for me in my business, is that every Saturday I dedicate an hour or so to scheduling all of my posts for our page. So I schedule 2 posts a day for per day for the entire week. And so I sit down, I've kind of taken pictures throughout the week. I throw a couple sayings on pictures, and then I write my posts. I just sit down and I rock them all out in about an hour. So my entire week of posts for our page is taken care of on Saturday. And so I don't have to worry about it. And then if I come up with something during the week that I want to share, then I'll throw it in there, or I'll put it on my personal page and then schedule it for the following week for our like page. But that has really been helpful for me, so I'm not stuck sitting in my car thinking, oh crap, it's been 2 hours since we posted. I need to come up with something. What am I going to post? It's been helpful for me just to sit down and be in the mindset of posting and be able to get them all put together and in one place at one time. So keep your list, keep adding to your list, because it will really help you break out of that posting funk when you don't know what to post. And just remember that you're sharing you're sharing your journey, you're sharing what makes you you. No need for perfection, no need for the right words. And remember that the way you say things is you. You don't need to say things the way that somebody else does, even if you like the way that somebody else says it. It's important to be true to you, and to speak and write the way that you would normally speak and write, and to share your journey the way that you would share your journey, because there will be people that respond to that won't respond to others. So be true to you, and you will find those people that you want to work with because they connect with you and you connect with them. So any other thoughts, Al?
Yeah, just not at all what we're talking about, but just since I have everyone on the phone, I just want to do a quick shout out about inviting and the inviting process. I know on the bat that we want you to do 2 invites per day, but I just wanted to remind you, Carl breaks down invites as attract, connect, invite. And I don't want you to ever feel like, oh my gosh, I have to get these 2 invites in today, so I'm just going to send out a cold invite. I would rather you take time investing in a relationship rather than meet that quota for the day. You're going to be more successful that way. And just remember that part of the inviting process is, like he said, attract, which you're doing through your posts, which is why we want you to put time and value into your posts. Attract, connect. Okay, so you're commenting on people, you're sending personal messages, getting to know people, and then extending an invitation. And something that I've started doing, I don't know if you listened to the National Wake Up Call recently, but she talked about tracking and how she sucked at tracking at first. And that's totally me. You guys know, like I mentioned before, organization is not my strong suit, and tracking, I've not done that well. And she talked about how, she would reconnect with people, and then if it didn't go anywhere with Beachbody, then that was it. She didn't write them down. She didn't write where their conversation went, and that's totally me. And so then she said, then their name would come up in her mind, a few months later. So she'd look them up and realize that she never followed up with them, never stayed on top of anything. And so it was awkward to bring it up again. And I wish I would have done that. So I've started on my list, tracking the people that I am talking to, and make sure you don't just let it fizzle, and that you write down or figure out some sort of system on how to follow up with them. So I started writing on the left-hand side of my names on my list. I write down which month or day of the week that I'm going to follow up with them. So I remember to do that. I mean, I've had several people that I've mentioned coaching to, and they said that they were interested, but not right now. And I go back to send them a follow-up message or a check-in message 2 months later, and I realize, crap, I should have followed up with them about coaching. And the same thing when you extend an invitation about joining a challenge group. A lot of people say, the timing's not good or the money's not good, and then you just let it fizzle. Okay, but that's just kind of telling them that you were just talking to them for the sell anyways. And if you follow up with them just by saying, I was just thinking about you, and I have another group starting soon. I know that the time before wasn't really working for you. I know that this can help you with that last 10 pounds, reference any goal they gave you. And I just want to check in with you and see if this is something that you want to do. Anyways, I just think there's power in follow-up that I have not been utilizing because I didn't track and specifically track the conversations. So that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but something that's been on my mind today. So is there anything else anyone wants to say? Any questions or anything? I know it's late for some of you. Okay. Other than we're awesome. Did we say that? I don't think we did. We're awesome.
We're awesome.
Team power. All right. Well,
All right, guys, thanks for coming.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.